Hello everyone and welcome to VLSI for all. Today Vishal Kumar this side and today we have a special guest, Miss Ekta Singh ma'am with us. Thank you ma'am for joining and sharing our experience. And ma'am, first can you give your brief introduction about your education background ma'am?
Yeah, so good morning, everyone. So my name is Ekta Singh and I'm from Jodhpur, Rajasthan. And yeah, I have completed my schooling from Hindi medium school from Jodhpur only. And then I have done my bachelor's in electronics and communication engineering from a Government Women Engineering College, Ajmer. And then I was preparing for GATE with that. And then I qualified with my bachelor's only. And then I went for master's in NIT Hamirpur. And then I have done my master's from NIT Hamirpur in VLSI engineering. And yeah, so
Ma'am, you are from Jodhpur ma'am and you choose the NIT Hamirpur ma'am, which is the ma'am quite quite at a location like a mountain region. So any reason of choosing NIT Hamirpur?
so yeah, I just filled a form, right? Like my college, I mean, I have filled a form. So I mean, the like my this was my eighth option. Like when I filled the form for master, so NIT Hamirpur was on my eighth option. So during that procedure, I got NIT Hamirpur in my first counseling only, and till second and third, it remained the same. So I went for that.
Okay, ma'am. So, ma'am, you choose a slide option, like, or the float option.
Yeah.
Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, can you tell us about your GATE preparation, ma'am? Like, what motivates you from uh, from the government in women's college to NIT Hamirpur? Like, what's the reason of choosing the NIT Hamirpur?
When I was in my bachelor, so uh, uh, I was in my second year, so I thought nothing is happening there, right? I was like, what will I do after my bachelor's? And the like placement scenario was not that good. Okay, so I thought let's go for GATE, right? I just went for coaching for DSA, like DSA, the subject which we have in our bachelor's in fourth semester. So I just went to the coaching for DSA, and then there one sir came and he told me like you should join GATE, like you should go for GATE at least once. So so on that time, I don't know, suddenly I thought, okay, let's go for GATE. And then in my fourth semester, I went for GATE and I started preparing for it. And so yeah, that's what it was very tough, like for like to keep both the things like your engineering exams and the GATE preparation to keep all the things parallelly. It is difficult for me, and I was even not able to do it very in a better way. That's why I got NIT Mirpur. But still, yeah, I went for that.
But you still went for you still go for a war like preparing when like you switch from DSA to
Yeah.
GATE. This is very tough because many people don't do that such thing. Ma'am,
Mm-mm.
coming to the next question, ma'am, can you tell us about your NIT Hamirpur course curriculum and yeah, how much the exposure there and the internship opportunity for the students, because the students are also looking this video from the perspective of counseling time. So, can you tell us about the NIT Hamirpur total overview of MTech course?
Okay, so I'll give you a very honest review about it. Okay, so when I joined NIT Hamirpur, I searched for it on Quora. Actually, no, I don't have that. My GATE score is 511. Okay, so I could have get better college than NIT Hamirpur, right? But I didn't have the idea about the spot round counseling like that. Okay, so I just choose it in my first round only, as I told you. So what happens is I when I joined NIT Mirpur, I searched on Quora around all these things. So I got to know that MTech placement were not that good on that time. Okay, for MTech placements were not good like in most of the NITs or some IITs also, other than some top IITs. So I thought maybe this will. I just choose NIT Mirpur because I don't have any other option on that time. Okay, what happened is in my first year when I joined NIT Hamirpur, on that time, my senior from VLSI department, they did so much hard work for like in the college to allow the internship companies. Because before that, my NIT Hamirpur college, they didn't allow any companies for internship. So on in that year only in 2020, with the hard work of my senior, companies started coming into my college for internship. So that you can say it was like a good luck for me. Then at that year only, companies started visiting my college for MTech students for internship only. So yeah, that's how it started. And then Yeah, so for first year you will have like whatever you studied in your bachelor's. You will have like you will have like, okay, so you have studied one chapter about VLSI, right? So in a master's you will have one entire book for that, right? Everything you will gonna study in very deep. It's like that, okay? You will have to study very long. You will have to study testing, low power VLSI design, memes, all these things you will have to study in your first year. And then suddenly I got to know that Intel is coming in our college, and Qualcomm is also coming. So for Intel came in Fab. So the Intel came, and everybody was allowed to sit in that interview. Okay, every Amtech VLS aspirants were allowed to sit in that. Okay, so we all like filled the form, and then the company came, and I gave my interview, and then luckily I got selected in that.
Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, what the internship in NIT Hamirpur is for 6 months or 11 months?
It's for 11 months.
Okay, ma'am. So, ma'am, how the coursework hectic? Like you have to do all the coursework all of the 2 year in 1 year. So, how much tough it is? Is it tough or is it manageable?
So see, for first year we have to, okay, in the first year we just study college thing, okay, and the company came in the end of first year when everything ends, and then we got selected as an intern, and then we have to, in the second year we have to do research work, okay, and with that we have to do internship also. And let me tell you, for me it was like hell difficult situation of my entire life. I feel like, oh my god, it depends upon guide on guide, okay. Some guide, that means we are allocated guide, some guide in our second year for our dissertation work, okay. So my guide was very strict. Being I will not use his name. He's very strict. And then and I choose it by myself. I was allocated some other guide, but then I said no, I want to work with him. I chose him, and then definitely he will. What happens is in NITs or IITs, why they don't allow internship? Because they want us to do some research work. Okay, we will publish some paper, and that's how the college reputation increases. Okay, and that is our duty as a master's student. We have to publish a paper. We have to do some research work. But when we go for internship, now we can't do any research. Okay, because as you can understand, the research we have to invent something new, which has not happened earlier, right? So for me it was very difficult to do, and like you will feel pressurized, yeah, all the time, because from morning to evening you have to do your office work, and then evening you have to think about what will you gonna do. You have to, and then you have to write a thesis of 40 pages on your own. That should not be copy pasted from internet. You have to do it by yourself, otherwise flag will come. So you will, this situation is very hectic. That's why I got to know that, like, that's why the colleges, some colleges don't allow internship thing. And I think that is fine also, because internship and research work handling together is very tough. For me, it was very tough, and it depends upon guide on guide also. Like that, I like, as I told you, some guides say, okay, you have got internship, it is a very good thing. Okay, just focus on that, and maybe some guide allow, okay, whatever the work you are doing in your internship, like you can present that also as an internship, like something new, you can present that also. That is, I'm saying, it depends upon every student's master's journey depends upon their guide to guide experience. For me, it was very tough and hectic.
So, ma'am, how do you manage? Like you have to publish a thesis and just go for the fab at the end of first year. You have to go for Intel or other product-based company internship. So, how you manage to
Hmm.
publish the thesis in the meantime?
Uh, as I told you, from morning to evening, I used to do my office work, and in the evening, I used to see what happens is, like, you have to search a subject, like you have to search a research gap, what has not been done till yet, okay, and then you have to study about it, and then you have to see, thesis submission is a different thing. Paper publish is a different thing. Thesis, you have to write of 40 pages, like what have you done in your 1 year, okay? And the paper publishes, you have to publish a paper of what you have done, new, something new in your in your like MTech journey. So thesis is like, it's still easy because everybody do it, okay? But paper publishes, and some guide says you have, yeah, that also a big thing. Some guide used to say you have to publish a paper, otherwise we will not give you your degree, okay? So in my one friend is in like NIT Delhi. He said me that his guide is telling everyone, and he also has an internship in Intel. But his guide was telling that no, you have to publish a paper. So that is a very, as I'm telling you, are in from morning to evening you have to do your office work, and from evening to night you have to work on like on your thesis thing. Otherwise, if they will not provide you degree or they will extend you, your job will definitely not gonna be there with you, right? They will definitely not gonna give you a PPO.
Yes, ma'am. I
So
mean,
you have to manage it.
I mean, you also will not get a stipend if they extend the
Yeah,
course
yeah.
work
If they
duration.
extend, your job will be gone, and your stipend will also not going to be there because you will get a stipend for
Okay,
only 2 years.
okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. In the meantime, if your first year is very hectic, then how do you manage for the company placement? Like, what's your like from morning to evening, and after that, if you have the night for you, then how you prepare yourself for the company interview placement?
See, for first year, we were just studying our college stuff. Okay. And as I told you, in the college study, we have very lot of subject, right? We have testing, everything is in our curriculum. So we have to, we have, let's suppose, 6 subjects. So all the 6 subjects are not required for a job interview, right? There are some low power VLSI design and some PD things, some memes and all these things. These are not required. Okay. So whatever the subject is essential for you, that only they will gonna ask you in your internship interview, right? So there I was working. Yeah, I was taking some course from Udemy, some from Coursera, and I learned Verilog and I learned VHDL, and then yeah, that's how I prepare for my interview. And STA, like static timing analysis, that is also a very essential thing for your interview. So these things I used to study. These are also there in our curriculum. It's not like that I have to study something else for my interview, for my internship interview. So yeah, that's how, that is good. We can handle that. But in the second year, when we have the internship and we have to handle the college thing, that is tough. For the first year, it is very easy.
Okay. Ma'am, after that, can you tell us about your how your interview went and how important is your resume making and everything? I'm like and everything the process of getting the intern and converting into the people like because you are currently working as a SOC design engineer. So can you tell us about the audience about whole procedure of getting into a produce company?
Okay, so what happens is like in my interview, it was like it was just happened for 20 minutes. They got, it depends upon, okay, if you satisfy them as soon as possible, they'll say okay, we are happy, we should do, okay, then bye. And some people have interview for 60 minutes, 50 minutes. It depends upon how fast you can satisfy them with your answers. Okay, they'll got to know about you. So in my interview, first they started asking me from BJT, FET, the very basic of VLSI, right? And then I am in a back end, okay, not in front end. Still, they ask me something about Verilog, and then as I told you, they ask me questions about STA, static timing analysis. They make me solve 3 questions of STA with that interview. That was a telephonic interview. And then they started asking, okay, they also see, yeah, resume building is also very important. As they seen my resume, I said that I'm from Hindi medium school, and then I have no gap from like 12th to bachelor's, and then bachelor's to master's. I have no gap, and I'm 22-year-old. So he was very like at the first when he told me to introduce yourself. When I introduced myself, then only he was like happy. He was said, oh, good, good. And then after that, he asked me about, as I told you, BJT, FET, about multiplexers, about some digital circuits, counter and all. And then he asked me, I told you, it's STA, static timing analysis. Actually, this interview happened 1 year before. That's why I'm not able to get it. And then he asked me about coding very long and like a structural, behavioral, the small. Okay, if they are taking you for an intern, they're not gonna ask you like tough questions. Okay, they will just ask you the very basic questions. It's not everybody is like, okay, you got intel, how tough your interviewer or like that. It's not like that. It is very easy. They're not gonna ask you some rocket science questions. It will be very easy, and then you just have to be confident. You just can't be like, okay, it could be happen, and this could also be happen. You have to be confident, and yeah, whatever they ask, you have to give some correct
Ma'am,
answer.
ma'am, you told us about the that you are work on the back end, like right, huh?
Hmm,
But
yeah.
but a question asked you from like STA and Verilog, they are all the part of front end. So how
No,
it is
STA is like static timing analysis, right? The clocking
this
thing,
one?
the setup time, whole time. This comes in backend also.
Okay, ma'am.
That is what the, and BJT FET
Okay,
basically
ma'am.
they were asking about me these things
And
also. So
CMOS, ma'am.
that is also, yeah, CMOS also they ask. Yeah,
Okay, okay,
for
ma'am.
CMOS also they ask me.
Can you tell us about your current role, ma'am? Like how it is different for SOC
Okay,
physical?
so during my internship, I was working on some. I can't tell much about my work, what I
Okay,
do,
ma'am.
because it is unethical. So still, I was working on some partition. I was handling. Okay, in a chip we have so many subsystems. Okay, and in a single subsystem we have so many partitions. So in one subsystem, I was handling 4 partitions and I was working on it. Okay, so in backend we have floor planning, routing, these things we have in backend. Okay, so I was working on routing thing. Okay, tool used to route it by itself, and then whatever the issues were coming, I was handling that. I was resolving the issues during the when tool routes, it makes some error. Okay, some things happened, so we need to fix it manually. So I was working on routing thing. Yeah, and for backend also you have to prepare for floor plan placement, whatever the thing which is coming in backend. These things you need to learn, and you have to be prepared for it if you are like trying to get into a backend.
Ma'am, you learn all this floor planning from the Coursera or your college coursework?
No, as I told you, Coursera, I just studied for very long. Okay,
Okay.
and VHDL. I didn't know on that time that much things. Okay, so what happens? It depends upon interviewer to interviewer. My interviewer, the interviewer was from backend team. Okay, and he's also in my team right now. Okay, what? So it depends upon which team's interviewer is coming to interview you. Okay, so he's from backend. So he asked me. He knew that I don't know. I can't know that much. Okay, and so he asked me very basic about these things, and then I got into backend, and over there I studied these things. In that initial phase, they gave me one book to read about, like, that is only, I'm like clock synthesis, all these things, this all things is coming in backend thing. So all these things I studied during my internship only. Initially I have no idea about it, like very basic idea.
Ma'am, you learn all these thing. I'm on. This is very remarkable because you did your BTech from in electrical engineering, ma'am. So
Electronics and communication.
electronics and computer. So, ma'am, so how does uh, then my next question is why do you have any answer for the that how that why BTech students should pursue for masters, like people are for going for job many very fast, like they do not want to
Yeah.
go do beat MTech from IIT or NIT. So do you have any
Mhm.
motivation tips from them?
Yeah, see, if you wanted to pursue in our field, that is VLSI, you have
Yes,
to
ma'am.
have masters. Otherwise, you will not. Okay, let's suppose you have done bachelor's. Okay, and you want to get into VLSI. How can you get it if you don't have degree of masters? After BTech of like you have, let's suppose you have done your BTech from electronics and communication engineering, and you want to have job. What will you do? You will go to software field. You will gonna work as the CSE engineers used to do their work, right? You will gonna work in that field. You will not gonna be working in your field, because if you want to work in your core field in electronics and communication engineering, that is, you can be working as an VLSI engineer only. And if you wanted to be an VLSI engineer, you have to have your masters in that. Okay, let's suppose there are some institutions which will I mean teach you in 6 months. Okay, and then they will send you to that company for VLSI jobs. Okay, so what happens is, let's suppose you will get your job. Okay, but you will not gonna you will not gonna go higher in that. At some point, you will be stopped. Your growth will be stopped,
You will
because
reach the saturation point.
yeah, you will
And
reach a saturation point. That's why masters is very important if you wanna work as an VLSI engineer.
okay, ma'am. My next question is, ma'am, you did all this, ma'am, and your seniors also helped you in your college, like providing the 1 year full internship. So,
Mm.
can you tell us about the how the scenario changed after the COVID, post COVID, for the VLSI placement in MTech in NIT? Like placement are changing, sir, ma'am.
Yeah, placement has definitely been increased. See, my seniors tried to have an internship, but they couldn't have it, because where they were started in at the end of their first year, and companies used to come in the second year, right? At the end of first year, companies used to come, but the process is much bigger, because they have write some application, they have to send to some authorization, they will send to upper authorization. It will take much longer time, so they couldn't have internship. Internship companies could not, was not be able to come in their session. It came in 2021 session. Okay, for us. So for us, for the first time, internship companies came, and then now it again came. Last year also, like Intel came, Qualcomm, Nvidia, Texas Instruments, and NXP Semiconductor. Every company came. And this year also, as of now, Intel and Qualcomm has been came. And I think almost like 70-80% of of MTech second year, VLSI branch students has been placed in these two companies. And what happens is, now let's suppose if like now for juniors we are we are their role models, right? And we have done something. So what happens is, as we have worked in companies, so we are guiding them to, okay, if not Intel, Qualcomm, you can go for lower grade companies also, right? Because it's not like that only these companies are there for you. You can start anywhere, but just don't stay in college. Just don't go for, okay, we are sitting and waiting for some big companies to come. No, just go for companies, do some work, have some experience. That will only be beneficial for you.
Ma'am,
That's how we are helping.
come to the next question, ma'am. Like, if a students don't want to go, if the students didn't don't get any internship in the first year, and at the end of first year, and he or she decided to work on the project given by the professor or the guide. So, is there any chance for them also, like, to get placed after the end of a second year? Like, how much
Yeah,
hard it is?
yeah, but it will be hard, or definitely, because because in our college, we like in any India's college, yeah, we are working on like some 30-40 years old technology. Okay, we are working on some devices which has not been even used. So it will be definitely gonna be tough for you. See, if you are working on some using some okay, if you are working on some newer project, like let's suppose if you are working on some processor, or you are trying to design some new circuits using coding languages, or you are working on ML or AI, then then definitely, see, we are from NITs or ITs. Okay, we have the tech. Okay, companies will definitely gonna go for us, but that we should have something in us, na. Otherwise, we can get companies of 5 or 6 lakhs. That is very easy, but we can't get 24 lakhs or 20 lakhs or 12 lakhs. That will be tougher for us if we don't have any industry experience.
Okay. Ma'am, in the previous answer, you mentioned that your interviewer is very impressed with the age, like the like you state that you have no gap in between. So, the gap
Yes.
matters in getting the job. Like, it act as a hindrance sometimes.
Actually, in as I have not seen during like when see, it is a very good thing if companies come into your college for taking you. Okay, if you are giving it as off campus, it will be tougher for you. They will definitely want to ask you where what have you done in these years. But as company came to college, there are some students in my class only which have 4 year of gap between bachelor's and their masters. But still they set for interviewer, and I don't think as much as I know, they don't ask them like what you have been doing since 4 years, because as they are in NIT. Okay, so but if you're it is very good now that if you don't have any gap, or if you are be like, as much as I know, if you will go for off campus, they will definitely going to ask you what have you done in your gap years.
Okay, ma'am.
You should have some answer for that.
Okay, thank you for giving such a constructive answer. At the end, do you want to give any motivation to the audience who is watching this video, and you want to say something about about the channel VLSI for all?
For VLSI for all, I want to say that it is very good initiative. Like they are taking the interviews of the person who has been selected in the companies. If any people who are working towards it, so it will be helpful for them. So I just feel good that you are doing something beneficial for the students. So that's what I want to say. It is a very good initiative taken by VLSI for all. And yeah, all the best to all the peers who want to join the VLSI industry.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for doing this interview. It means a lot to ma'am.
Thank you so much.